All right, hello guys. This is Mr. Peter of Petro Science Tutors. I'm here once again with another educational video. This time it's mathematics, senior mathematics, specifically latitudes and longitudes. I'm sure you want to know how pilots locate places on the Earth using latitudes and longitudes. It's a very important topic in SS Mathematics. But before I start, click and subscribe. Thank you very much. Now, what is latitudes and longitudes? Latitudes and longitudes. Yes, latitudes and longitudes. Okay. Now, what are latitudes? What are latitudes? Yes, these are imaginary parallel lines that run from left to right on the Earth's surface. These are imaginary parallel lines that run from left to right on the Earth's surface. You see the diagram on your screen. You can see those lines moving from left to right. See, going round. They're actually part of a circle. You see those lines? They're actually part of a circle. Okay. So, and then latitudes measure distances from north or south of the equator on the Earth's surface. So you see the equator. The equator is right there at the middle, you know, like the belts of the Earth, you know, the waist of the Earth. So you see, if you're going up, you see 10, 20, 30, see those latitudes going up to the North Pole. And then you see down, 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 down. Okay. I just, all right. Okay. Okay. Let me just move that up. Okay. So you can see the latitudes south of the equator. This is south, and the North Pole is up there. So latitudes up north and latitudes south. So you see these latitudes. They seem to divide the Earth into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Okay, so latitudes are imaginary parallel lines that run from left to right on the Earth's surface. Yes, and they measure distances north or south of the equator. So the equator is here, and then you have northern latitudes and southern latitudes. Okay. So we have that the equator is the reference latitude. The equator is the reference latitude, 0 degrees. That is the middle latitude, and is the only great circle latitude. We'll talk about what we mean by great circle latitude later on. Then the other latitudes are small circles of differing radii. That is this because they become smaller as they approach the poles. So if you see these latitudes, you see the equator is like the widest latitude. Widest goes round, you see. Then as you're going up 15 degrees north, see it's getting smaller and smaller in radius. So you see the North Pole is almost just like a small dot there, and you have the other, so the radius is getting smaller as you go up north. So we say the other latitudes are small circles of differing radii. Okay, this is because they become smaller as they approach the poles. Become smaller as they approach the poles. So that is what latitudes are. Okay, so let's see more. The radius r of a small circle is obtained by this formula, where r is radius of the equator. Yes, r is radius of the equator, and it's approximately 6,400 kilometers. Yes. That's the radius of the equator, which is essentially the radius of the Earth also. And then this alpha in this formula, see the alpha in this formula here is the value of its latitude. Okay, so the radius of a small circle would explain this later on in the video. Okay, so let's proceed, guys. Now, what are longitudes? What are longitudes? What are longitudes? Yes. What are longitudes? Okay, these are imaginary lines. Longitudes are imaginary lines. Imaginary lines. Okay, that pass from the North Pole to the South Pole and are also known as meridians. These are imaginary lines that pass from the North Pole to the South Pole and are also known as meridians. So you can see the diagram on your screen. You can see those lines coming, down like this, coming down, 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 down. See, coming from the North Pole and to the South Pole, down there, okay? And they're also known as meridians. So you can see the reference longitude 0 degrees. The reference longitude 0 degrees passes through Greenwich in England. Passes through Greenwich in England. Okay. And you can see that this one, prime meridian, it passes through a town called Greenwich in England, and it's called the Greenwich or prime meridian. Yes. So you just look at that diagram, you can see longitudes are coming like this, they're coming like this, okay? And you must also know that longitudes measure distances east or west of the prime meridian. Longitudes measure distances east or west of the prime meridian. Yes, so if you go back to the diagram, you can see we have 0 degrees, your prime meridian, just like your reference longitude. Then you have, this is the east of the prime meridian, and this is the west. 10 degrees west, 20 degrees west, 30 degrees west, so on and so forth. This is all west. And then you have 10 degrees east, longitude, 20 degrees east, longitude, 30 degrees east, so on and so forth. So that is what longitudes are. At this juncture, I must let you know that latitudes and longitudes, like I said, are what helps geographers and pilots to be able to locate places, plan locations all over the earth. So we use lines of latitudes and longitudes to help us locate places on the earth. Pilots use this system a lot. Okay. Now longitudes measure distance. I've said that. Now they are great circles. All longitudes are great circles and have equal radii. Okay, that is, they have the same circumference. They have the same radius. They have the same radius. Hence, they have the same circumference. They have the same. They are all the same distance round. So this is the front part of your prime meridian. The back you cannot see. You cannot see the back at this point. Okay. So all of them have the same circumference or the same radius. Remember, from circle we have that circumference equals to 2 pi r. Okay. So they all have the same. All longitudes have the same radii. So they are called great circles. They are what? Great circles. And the radius r of a great circle is roughly 6,400 kilometers. Yes, the radius r of a great circle is roughly 6,400 kilometers. Just like your the equator. Just like the equator we studied. So the equator is the only great circle. That's what we mean by the equator is the only great circle. So you can see on the screen, the equator is the widest latitude. Okay, so it has the same radius as all these longitudes here. Okay, so that's what we mean by let's go back to that statement. Okay, see, the equator is the reference latitude. The equator is the and is the only great circle latitude. So that's what we mean by it's the only great circle, because it has that radius of 6,400 kilometers, which is the radius of the Earth. Okay, and also the radius of all longitudes. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Come along, guys. So this is just a summary of what we'll be saying. You see the parallels and meridians. So another name for latitudes, also known as parallels of latitudes. Another name for longitudes, also known as meridians. So you have your meridians or longitudes on the right there, and on the left you have your latitudes. Okay. All right, so let's continue. So just like I said, latitudes and longitudes are essential to locating and planning positions on the Earth's surface. So for instance, if you want to locate New Orleans, if geographers and pilots want to locate New Orleans is a state in United States of America. So you see, it is somewhere there. You can see you have 0 degrees longitude, that's 0 degrees longitude, 10 degrees east, 20 east, west, 10 degrees west, 20 west, 30 degrees west. So you see it's going that way and it's somewhere here. So you see it's 90 degrees west. So the longitude of New Orleans is 90 degrees west. How about the latitude? See, the latitude always comes first. Remember, latitude always comes first when you are locating positions. A comes before O, so it's easy to remember that A comes before what? O. Latitude comes before longitude. So you see 30 degrees north. How did they get this 30 degrees north here? If you come here, you see that this is 0 degrees equator. The equator is 0 degrees of latitude, right? So just like your X and Y axis, this is your Y axis, and this is the X axis. So the X axis is just like your latitude. So you're going up 10 degrees north, 20 degrees north, 30 degrees north. So you see this line is actually this line. So it's 30 degrees. You see 0 degrees here, 0 degrees equator latitude, 10 degrees north, 20 degrees north, and 30 degrees north. So New Orleans, which is at this point, at this very point, New Orleans is at that very point, is 30 degrees north and 90 degrees west. Yes, because it's 90 degrees west of longitude. So that's how points are located. That's a very core use of this topic, latitude and longitude. I'm sure some of you would like to be maybe pilots in future. Yes, so it's a very important mathematics topic. Excuse me. All right, so you can have some other locations. Okay, for instance, here, this point here is going to be what? This is going to be 40 degrees north, 10 degrees, 40 degrees north of latitude, and 10 degrees east of longitude. Okay, please tutor us on that number or visit Better Science Tutors on Facebook.